Gentlemen, welcome to the bar. What can I get you?
Yeah, mineral water for me, I think.
Mineral water. I can get you some tap water if you want.
Yeah,
Norwegian
water will
water.
do. Oh, that's true. Norwegian water.
Yeah.
Best water.
And what about yourself?
I can take a Coke.
Just a Coke?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll get you your water then. I mean, no problem whatsoever. I actually don't remember. This one's got some high pressure to it, brother. Like, you picked the wrong drink for me, but you, no problems. Coke or Coke Zero?
Coke Zero.
Coke Zero. Ah, there you go.
Need to be healthy.
My man, trying to be healthy as anything. I've actually recently made the switch to Coke Zero myself because I drink too much of it in my own right, and it's very bad
I
for me.
think it's a better taste than the original.
Yeah,
Coke.
awesome.
So healthy.
Yeah, so healthy.
So healthy.
I used to have the standard stuff back at home, but I've cut it out of my entire house now. So yeah. But enough talk about drinks, gentlemen, because we could do that all day if we wanted to.
Yeah.
But I think you guys are better known for other things. Rolf, Spooke, members of 00 Prospects, obviously. Look, you guys have had a hell of a week so far, I have to say. And you guys probably are like a bit of de facto favourites here in Lifferton, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, look, you guys have been on a hell of a run recently. For me, I see you sort of like the most informed team as of right now, at least the most informed team that hasn't made a roster change. And it's kind of curious sort of like talking about prospects in that capacity, because for you, Spooke, I know that you probably have a lot of history with the prospects, and you probably remember the days when prospects weren't really considered a team of that capacity, right?
Yeah. I've been in this organization for almost 2 years now. It's been a long ride, slow and steady, upwards, all the way down.
I mean, like, cornerstone of the whole squad, though, right? Like, does that give you like a sense of, I don't want to say captaincy, but like, head of the table sort of like dynamic within the team?
Yeah, a bit, maybe, but maybe not from the like most team perspective vibe, but I think I'm kind of like, could see me as a bit of a leader maybe, but not like full leader.
Mm. I mean, you certainly have the experience behind you. And again, you've grinded through all these positions, right? Like, you've gone through the from not only the Swedish team, but the previous Norwegian team, which is super wild in my eyes because it's like, it's such a 0-0 nation thing or Nordvin thing to be able to be a Norwegian organization in that sort of sense. Like, talk to me about how the differences sort of like bleed over from that team to this current squad that you're part of.
Oof. I think the last team we had before this, like the play style is a lot of different, and we had a lot of different players from different kind of, what could you call it, like groups. We had 2 Romanians as well, 3 Norwegians, and 2 Romanians and 2 Norwegians and me. So it was it was a lot of fun, but I think we had a lot of struggles within the team about how we should play. But I think we found now how we want to.
You found an identity as a hell, right? And again, Rolf, like obviously you've been around the academy scene for ages. You played against that 0-0 Prospects old guard and the old sort of teams. Like, tell me from your perspective, like, what were your thoughts on the old Prospects sides?
I would say it's the same as Ole said. They had, I would say, they had a pretty different play style of everyone else. They had a pretty like pug style, like face style, I would say. A lot like random stuff would happen and stuff. I think we didn't really have a problem in the Young Ninjas against them. I think we won every single game against them. But yeah, they shoot hard and yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned Young Ninjas because, like, it again, there was a period where that team was sort of considered like not sort of the de facto sort of best team in the academy scene, but certainly up there among those sort of like levels. And at a time when again prospects weren't quite at that sort of like position. So, like, what were the qualities of that old Young Ninjas team?
It was a lot of different lineups we had in Young Ninjas. I feel like we never had a chance to build like a full team. We always had the roster changes. Ellen Seth moved up to the A team. CTR came down. Then Fusi get up to the A team, and we get a stand in. And we never had a chance to really play together as a team and get our play style.
Was that a motivation for moving away from an IP?
Yeah, pretty much. I think we never had a chance to get our play style together, and yeah, as long. Now in prospects, I feel like we have a good team and we stick together, stick core. So yeah.
Well, you've had that chance to develop now. Again, I'm super impressed with what Prospects have done over the last a few months. You guys have had constant top 16s in online tournaments. You just won the EU Pro League coming into this event. And obviously, earlier on, you beat your old team of Young Ninjas in such a dominating fashion. Like, how has the progression sort of like moved in this Prospects team?
I think slow and steady is the way to say, but we've been having a lot of struggles with in the team, not as like on the server, but how we play. But I think we get in there slow and steady.
Well, obviously you made the move into Prospects, but you were the player that was already here at the time. Like from your team, like what was the key sort of like deciding factor to bring in someone like a Rolf?
Like a Rolf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a Roof, as I'm told.
Roif.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, we were looking for a Nigel in the when we're looking for a player, but there is no Swedish ideals on the market, so it was between Rolf and another player, and we chose Rolf. I think it was a better fit.
Better fit.
Better fit, better player.
Well, what qualities does he bring to this Prospect side?
Yeah, he has a strong mentality. Like he never gives up as well, but I think he's harsh on himself a lot of times, and kind of gets mad on himself, and that brings him down as a player. And he drops confident, but like he's super strong individually. He's solid, almost.
What kind of qualities does Spooke sort of bring as a stalwart of the team?
I would say a lot of initiative. He has a leader role. He what to say? He is a really strong individual, as you probably known. But yeah, he's a really good communication and really good team player to play with, and always motivated and try to do new stuff, and good all-round player, I would say.
Yeah. Well, you guys obviously have been in the Swedish scene for basically pretty much your entire careers, minus the stint on the Norwegian squads and everything like that. But I kind of wanted to ask you guys, because we've been talking a lot about like national scenes. I actually had a chat with Whitey the other day about the UK CS scene and talking about like our own individual struggles as guys that came up in that sort of perspective. And there's always like this kind of narrative that like Swedish CS is now like a dead scene, in that sort of sense, right? Like, I don't know if that's just applicable to like the top end of the space, but like, is that like an accurate notion from the international space that it is dead?
I would say it's dead.
Say it's
at
dead.
the moment, yeah.
Oh dear. What's going on at the moment? What's wrong?
You want to take this one?
I take
Like
it.
the Swedish tier 1 scene, it's not there, like it's been in the past. But I would say as a team, we're trying to improve to get there every day. And I think lately we had a lot of like Swedish tier 3, tier 2 teams like towards there, trying to get there. You have Godsent, newly lined up. They're playing tier 1 teams sometimes, and then we have us and Young Ninjas and I forgot the
Eyeballers.
Eyeballers. So we're trying to get there.
I mean, like, we kind of look at this like new international era we have, where there isn't really like many national teams per se. Like, maybe you have like an Astralis, for example. Maybe you have like a Big, for example, and those guys certainly have their own roots as individual like national organizations. But obviously those guys aren't doing as well as they used to right now, especially in the case of someone like an Astralis.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of wanted to ask you guys, like, obviously, like, seeing as you are currently a tier 2 national squad in that sort of sense, is the move to tier 1 going to be to move up as a team, or is it more of just a case that the individuals go up to already established international teams?
Well, for us, it's pretty much impossible as an academy team, I think, to climb up as a team. But we're trying to either way. It's always like you strive to become the main team in a sort of way. So. Well, yeah.
I mean, you guys are going to have a bit of a tough time becoming the main team when 00 Nation is from a completely different nation of its own right.
Yeah.
Just have to take over.
Might have to worm your way into some of the old NIPs and Fanatics and what have you. Talk to me about like the star players of your squad and the star guys. Like who do you rate as like the primary guy from your squad to be that next tier 1 call up?
Definitely Hype. Like he's a incredibly smart player. Like he's our Agile. I think that brings him down a little bit individually, but he's still an amazing player to play with, and he's definitely he's gonna play there if he keeps on playing.
And we need to mention Franson as well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Franson is not as well.
It's kind of funny, actually, sort of like talking about Franson Hype and Bobek, or Bobexd. And I never know which one to call him. Again, I have Dwayne telling me Bobek, and I have Twitter telling me Bobexd. So like, I'm just going to go with Bobek for now, and hopefully everyone at home will forgive me. But those guys, obviously, that was a core from Lil Mix, right? And that was like a significant change, because that probably was when they moved from that Norwegian team to now the Swedish team that we know now. And again, you were around during that period of time. Like, how radical was that change?
Like, it was a good change for me, personally, because I think I was the only one left in the old lineup from our old team, and we were obviously looking for players, and then we had those 3 guys show up. Like, it was a perfect opportunity to play with them, because I know them from earlier, and I know they're incredible players. They obviously qualified for IM. Was it 2020 or 2021?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, look, they're definitely reputable individuals, and you know, does that make a team? Does getting a core like that and bolstering it with 2 very fantastic gentlemen of your own right make like a decent sort of tier 2 squad in that sense?
Yeah, I think that's a good communication. The combo, I would say.
Combo.
Yeah,
Awesome.
combo. Yeah.
Sweet as. Well, the whole thing about missed games is the heroes of tomorrow. We're always looking towards the future talents, like yourselves, of course. Of course, I'm blowing smoke up your ass at this point just to keep you at my bar so you can buy more drinks. But you know, like I often sort of like, you know, I'm often sort of focused on the future in that sort of sense with this tournament circuit. And the future is right around the corner, lads. CS2 obviously been announced very recently. It should be coming out within the next couple months or so. So I wanted to ask about like your impressions of the game. I don't know if you guys have played it yet. But just from what we've seen or what you've experienced, like, what do you think about CS2?
I would say it's a pretty... I think it's the same game. It's the only change is the smokes. I think that's the only change they made, like big change to the gameplay. And I don't know what I think about the smokes, but we'll see how it plays out. But I have not played CS2 since it's been announced, because I have not gotten it. But
neither have I, don't worry.
Yeah, but the graphics looks really good, and yeah, I look forward to CS2.
Yeah, I really like how the game looks, but it's obviously some struggles with some bugs and stuff, but that will get fixed. I want to try out the game as well. I haven't gotten beta, so...
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to sort of like ask people about this, but all we've really got is like some gameplay footage that we've only personally seen. But I obviously, we're expecting the landscape to change in some capacity, particularly in the esports landscape. So like, you know, how do you think that the impact of a new game is going to have on Counter-Strike and its competitive scene, and you guys as a team as well?
I think like the competitive scene will only bloom, but it won't get worse. Because there's going to be hype in the beginning, obviously, and CS2 and all that. But I think like competitive scene is going to be probably like the same. All the CSGO pro players and teams going to go over to CS2. Maybe some teams climb and some teams derail and stuff. But the scene is probably going to be like the same.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree? Awesome. Yeah. Well, look, for prospects, obviously, you guys must have some sort of plan in place for where you're going to be going in the future. Like, you know, after Lofoten is over, what have you got in the back of your minds? What goals do you have set for this team going forward?
Well, so definitely top 30 is our main goal. And after Lofoten, it's just start grinding like we always have. Start playing Elisa and CCT and those tournaments, just the farm tournaments. So and hopefully win those tournaments and hopefully get top 30.
Awesome. Well, for now, you guys have a match today as we're recording this.
Yeah.
And it's up against an Ents Academy team who they themselves, obviously, you must have had experience playing against as a core, as individuals on your own separate teams in the past. Like, they've been talking and they've been very confident. The fact that they've come in the semi-finals as the tops, or one of the top seeds in this event. And you guys obviously have the momentum of beating Young Ninjas so effectively in the event so far. How do we feel about your chances going into that match today?
I'm pretty confident in that game. I've only played them once in this team, I think. Like the first week when I joined the team, and I think we won 2, or was it BO1? I think. I don't remember. We won against them at least.
So, a while ago.
But it was a while ago. Yeah, maybe 2-3 months ago. So yeah, but they looked pretty strong recently. Had good results, but I think we can. I'm pretty confident we will win.
We'll try and give them less rounds staying in, yes.
Yeah.
Was it 16-6 both maps last time? So
16-4 both.
16-4, that was it. Yeah, so 16-6 was yesterday. Yeah, I mean, look, if you guys get that dominant, and then I have to say that you guys probably are shoo-ins to win the whole event. So I wish you guys the best of luck. Obviously, enjoy what remains of your drinks, especially in your case. You've gone through half of that water already. But, you know, guys, thank you so much for joining me. And, yeah, best of luck, boys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.